Welcome to Winning Whiskeys. Today, I want to talk to you about my 2024 Q1 liquor haul. Mostly bourbon, but yeah, the full liquor haul. So in front of you guys can see that this is what I picked up from my Kentucky February trip. This one is the Wild Turkey 12. I did the Barrel Your Own from Michter's. This one is 112.6 proof. I picked up a Four Roses OBSO. Four Roses, the single barrel strength from the distillery. I picked up the Bardstown Carter Cellars. I also picked up the Stag 23C and two of the 117 series. This is the Scotch cask finish. If you want to see some more details on how I picked these up, you go look at that video. The first bottle I want to talk to you about is actually a 2023 release, and that is Elijah Craig C923. This Elijah Craig, I've heard, is phenomenal. I went to my local liquor store and I found this for about 85 bucks, and I was like, you know what, sign me up. I've heard amazing things about it. I heard this is one of the best ones in 2023, and I'm super excited to try this. This one is the 13-year, 7-month age, the extra old age, as I like to call it, and 133 proof. The first bottle I want to talk to you about is, we'll go through the Total Wine stuff first. This one is a Knob Creek Total Wine pick. It's the Knob Creek single barrels. These are 120 proof. I tried one, not this one, but I tried similar barrels of this, and it's phenomenal. So I'm very excited to try this. Can't go wrong with these. The next Total Wine thing actually came from a Vegas trip. And this one is, let me find it. So this is a Cadenhead, and the other one is this. So the first one I pointed out is the Cadenhead. This is a Springbank 11, but distilled by Cadenhead. So Cadenhead is an independent bottler, and I haven't tried I have a Springbank 10, but I have it upstairs. I still haven't cracked it yet, but this one is a Cadenhead 11. It's Springbank 11, and I heard good things. This is 92 proof, and yeah, super excited to try this one. This one I was even more excited about. As I said, this was from my Vegas trip. Picked up both of these. It'll be a running theme that I like to go to small stores or different stores when I'm in different locations when I'm traveling. And so yeah, this is the second time I've seen one of these ever, and I couldn't believe it. The first one in at least 2 years, maybe 3 years now. I couldn't believe it. And this one is a Total Wine barrel that at 128.9 proof. They were sitting 60 by that Total Wine, and I just couldn't believe it. I wanted to buy them all for 85 bucks. I couldn't believe it. Now this Cadenhead, I think it was like 100, maybe 100. But yeah, I couldn't believe this Old Forester barrel strength was just sitting on the shelf and not even marked up. So couldn't believe that. And yeah, let's talk a little bit more about the next Total Wine. Next thing I found at Total Wine. I found these two. This Total Wine single barrel proof rye, and then another Old Forester. This is just a regular Total Wine more pick. And yeah, I was just talking to one of the associates at Total Wine. We're talking about this single barrel proof rye, and I said I had already had one. He's like, oh man, the Total Wine pick is just better. You need to get it. So I pick it up and we start talking, and he's like, hey, look at the sign next to that this barrel proof rye. I was like, oh man, that's the Old Forester single barrels. He goes, yeah, we just sold out, but we haven't had a chance to restock it yet onto the floor. If you want one of these bottles, we have them in the back. I'll just bring out the rest. And yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll take it for $85. I couldn't believe it. I'm super excited. I'm definitely gonna crack one. You see, I got 2 of them now, so I'm definitely gonna crack one open. And the next one, also from a different Total Wine haul, is I got this Colonel Taro small batch. It was also sitting right there on the shelf, on the barrel. I couldn't believe it. This one is the Bottle and Bond 100 proof. Couldn't believe it. It was just sitting there on the barrel. I just picked it up and just, yeah, couldn't believe it. I've tried the single barrels, and those are phenomenal. I think traditionally those are better than this small batch, but I'm very excited to have this into the collection. And then the last, well, there's a few more, but I'm gonna bring it out. I was also so fortunate to get another store pick. As I said, I turned down actually another one of these Total Wine ones. They still had a whole bunch when I went back to that Colonel Taylor. So I turned it down. I was like, you know what? I want other people to get a chance. But I found this Liquorland single barrel strength. Very excited about that. So I picked up 3 this quarter, and I couldn't believe it because I'd only seen one in the previous like 3 or 4 years. I couldn't believe it. 3 in 3 months. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna crack one of these open because I'm super excited to try one because yeah, very excited about these picks. Again, pick that up about similar, 85, 95 bucks, somewhere in there. Super excited. I'm gonna talk to you about my specs picks here that I found, a couple things I found. This is a 1792 single barrel. Found this just sitting on the counter. Very excited about that. I like the small batch. I don't have a bottle of that, but I do have a bottle of the Bottle and Bond and the Full Proof, and those actually came in a little hot. And so, yeah, it was just a little hot for me. But I have a couple of those, one of each, I think. But yeah, I've heard good things about the single barrel, so I'll definitely add this to the collection. Don't know when I'm gonna crack this open. But yeah, and then around the same time, I picked up this Yamazaki 12, but this is the 100th anniversary edition. I don't know if there's a big difference between the 100th and the regulars. I've heard the 100th, they specifically pick the barrels. But I love the Yamazaki 12. My parents love it. I even have one open on my shelf. I just always have one open because it's just a phenomenal pour. But yeah, super excited. I picked this one up for about $175. It's actually crazy on the Yamazaki prices. Yamazaki 12 pricings have just gone through the roof. I remember when I started buying them, they were like $140 maybe, and now they're $175 easily. You can even see at $200 some places. And yeah, again, this single barrel, I think I picked up for about $50. There's 2 more bottles I wanted to talk to you guys about. One, I stopped in at another local liquor store. This one is something that I don't know much about. But I was talking to the manager. We were talking about bourbons and whiskeys. I got something for you. And he goes, I got something for you. He's like, it's a cognac though. And I was like, oh, I don't do cognac, but my dad does. And he was like, well, I got something for you. This is cognac. This is the Hennessy Masters Blenders, edition number 1. They actually have 5 of these now. But interesting thing is after they put one of these batches, they burn the recipe so you can't recreate them. So these are, I guess you say, slightly limited. And so I was talking to the manager and he was like, yeah, like these are phenomenal. You should get one. You won't regret it. And I was like, okay. So I was doing my research. I just happened to go look on secondary and I couldn't believe the secondary prices. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Couldn't believe it. So I was like, like, wow. So I guess these must be collector's items. So I can have this in my collection now. Don't know when if I'll even crack it, but yeah, super excited. The last bottle I have is this Michter's single barrel 10-year rye. Wow, 92 proof, 92.8 proof. I couldn't believe I have this. Again, I was actually going to a funeral, a little sad, and I saw this little liquor store on the side, looked pretty new. So I stopped in. I like to go check things out at these local stores or any store if I'm traveling. And I saw this on the shelf. And I was talking to the manager there, and I told him, like, yeah, I'm here for a funeral, you know. I'm never in this area, so I can stop in. And he goes, yeah, this bottle's been sitting on our shelf for a little bit. So I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, it's about $270. And I was like, whew, that's steep. Because I mean, MSRP for these things is 180, right? So like, yeah, it's like 50% above. But I'd never seen one. I think the only time you could probably find one is if you go to Michter's. And you know, when I did the Michter's bottle your own, I forgot to say this, but when you do the bottle your own, you can only do either the bottle your own, or you can get one of the bottles that they have released at the distillery that day. And I think the day I picked this one up, it was a bottle of either, I think it was Bomberger's, plus you had to go buy a regular Michter's. So this may come in one of those packs, the 10-year rye, but I couldn't believe it that it was just sitting on the shelf, and I debated and I was like, yeah, I mean, this is good. I'm not a huge rye guy, but I don't know when I'm going to see this again. And prior in the month, I turned down a Michter's Toasted Barrel Rye as well. I'm still kicking myself for that. That was a little bit over MSRP as well. But yeah, this one, I don't know when I'm going to crack this. I'm not a huge rye guy, but I've added this to the collection. I probably will crack it at some point. But yeah, I'm excited. I have this beautiful bottle, and yeah. So thank you for watching the 2024 Q1, I guess it's a liquor haul, from Winning Whiskeys.